Hey folks, it's Lauren from Snowy's here today in the Snowy's car park with the Oricom wireless reversing camera with a strong magnetic base. So it will magnet to the back of your car and is fully adjustable with the positioning there. It's an excellent removable wireless charger, so it doesn't have to be hardwired into your car, with a range of about up to 15 meters and a run time of around about 8.5 hours. Hold up fam, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any awesome content on the Snowy's channel. Let's get into it. So it comes with a couple of Velcro straps here in case wherever you want to regularly mount it isn't a metal surface. So as you can see, I'll pull this off here. Up on the spoiler, for example, it's plastic mostly, or whatever spoilers are made out of. I'm not a car buff, but it's obviously not metal, therefore it's not magnetic. So it does need to go onto a metal surface. So it's really strong hook and loop. Now the hook and loop that's provided is like a plastic hook and loop, so it's not softened material that will wear away or sort of get super fluffy with time. And it also comes with your little USB charging cable as well. Now, it does have a 2160 milliamp battery on board, so just shy of 2.2 amps in total, and it does take about 4.5 hours to charge. So the box that it comes with will have a QR code on the back, and this is a link directly for you to be able to download the app that you view the camera footage of on your phone. So whether or not you're an Apple or an Android, that'll take you straight there. I'll show you that a bit more about that app in a minute. It measures about 10 centimeters across and around about 11 centimeters, 12 centimeters tall. It sits about 6 centimeters deep. There's no weight specified by Oricom, and we actually didn't weigh it before the video, so probably not super prepared there, but I reckon it's maybe like 200, 300 grams at best. It's a really simple operation. The knobs on the side here will tighten and loosen depending on where you want to position your camera. So I'm going to twist the angle up on the camera a bit there, and probably position it like so, and then I can tighten these little knobs on the side. Obviously, if you want the camera to look down more at your toe ball, you can adjust it to point right directly to your toe ball. It's really easily adjustable there. Now, the operation for the camera is super simple. It's literally just this on and off button at the front, and when we press that, you will hear a click, and I'm not sure if you can see, maybe there's like a little blue indicator light that comes on the front of the camera. So once that light's on, you know your camera's ready to roll, and it's ready to transmit the vision to your phone. Now, the other thing I'll note is just inside the lens here, you'll see a series of little light bulbs around the outer edge. That's like a more, I don't know if it's infrared or what the goal of it is, but that's what is going to help to light up the space for your night vision when you're doing reversing in the dark. So what I'll do is I'll grab my phone and we'll jump in the car and we'll get this set up to check out the vision. So I'm gonna open up the camera app on my phone here and scan over the QR code on the back of the box. So that's gonna pop up the link here that we're gonna tap on, which will take us to a page. And we will select whether or not we're downloading for your Apple device or your Android device. Now, I've already pre-downloaded this one, so this is the app that you're going to be using. It's called Safety Cam app. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to get this page here. Now, operation is very, very simple. It's not complex at all, but the device, the reversing camera device will have sonics in the front of it. So your code might look a bit different depending on the individual camera, but this sonics at the front is the device that you're after. So we're just going to click on that one and have it highlighted down the bottom here, and then we're going to hit confirm. And then it's just going to ask us whether or not we're sure we want to connect, and we do. And so there we go. That's pretty much as simple as it is. Now, the vision that you can see on the camera is obviously a little bit distorted because we've got the sun almost at the peak in the sky there, and it's shining right down into the camera. But we've got, it's very simple. So we're going to go to the settings function. That basically takes us right back to this load screen. So there's no real settings to play with. It's very basic, very simple. We have the option to rotate the image, either depending on how you've got your camera set up there. So if you happen to, I don't know, mount it upside down and you're like, bloody hell, you know, you don't have to get out of your car, you can flip it over from the vision on the app. Hitting this camera here will save a screen grab or a frame grab of the camera there, and hitting this file will, that was my tester for the office. You can have a bit of a laugh there. That will save the screen jabs from the recording. So you've also got this last little function down here that means we can tap on it and remove the depth gauge. Up the top right hand corner, we've got the frame rates essentially. So that's 25 frame rates per second. So what I might actually do is I'm going to put the camera, sit it here, and hopefully it will stay there. Cam does have a RAM mount, but it's off in the corner here and the sun won't let you see the screen. So hopefully that will stay good there. Otherwise I'll move it down, but I'm going to reverse the camera. Now we've got a car in the background there that belongs to one of the Snowies crew. So we're not going to go creeping up on a random staff member's car. Turn the volume down. Alrighty, so we're just going to reverse up to the back of Kai's car here, and we'll get an indication of the depth gauge that we're looking at. So we'll go probably halfway through to the yellow line, I reckon. Right, so interestingly enough, Cam's also got a reversing camera here. So interestingly enough, on our reversing camera, we've gone up to the bottom of the bumper on the car behind us. The reversing camera that Cam's got here, that's obviously putting us a fair bit further back. So what we'll do now is we'll jump out and we'll take a look at the distance, the real life distance that we've got between the camera and the back of the car. So this is probably giving us maybe about 1.5 meters, I'd say. Not quite 2 meters to the tow ball from the back of the car at about that yellow line. Noting that camera is pretty much facing immediately straight out, like perpendicular to the back of the car. What I might do is adjust the camera now so it's poking down, looking at the actual tow ball itself, and then we'll reverse the car a bit further and see how close we're getting on those indicators. So I've adjusted the camera down and we can now see the tow ball there, but we're not obviously seeing much else out of the camera, and you can see how the gauge, the depth gauge, really isn't functional from this view. You're probably not going to use this angle on the camera too much, except potentially if you're reversing solo. We'll say hypothetically we'll go to the green this time. So let's jump out and have a look at our real life distance that we've got now. So I'd say that's probably pretty fair, because the distance we've got here in real life is around about 1 foot, and it did look that way on the camera angle as well. So I think this reversing camera, it's not going to be distorting your distances or your space too much, and it's probably going to give you a really accurate indication of where you're placed in space. So I'm just going to move Cam's car back into the car park and we'll have a look at some different vision from the camera. So I'm going to leave my phone here so you can still actively see the camera. So I'm going to jump out of the car and I'm going to remove the camera from the back of the vehicle. As you can see, having it up like that where we've got full sun coming into the camera lens, I'm going to move the camera around for you and I'll poke it away from the sun, and you can just see how the quality of the vision changes when it's not got the sun in it immediately. Also, if I'm moving the camera around relatively fast, the frame rate sort of keeps up with that movement and you still get a really good sort of quality of vision there. There's not any delay, it's moving about in real time as well. So getting back into the car, and I'm going to bring the camera with me. So the other cool feature about this camera is that it does have, mentioned before, a bit of night vision. So it's a bit tricky to simulate it in real life when it's not nighttime. But if I move it down here into the footwell where it's quite dark, I'll move my camera as well just so you can still see that. You can see that the little infrared lights have come on and that's giving us a good vision of what's down here in the dark footwell, even though there's probably not enough natural light to show that as clearly. So that's essentially going to simulate what you see at nighttime when you're reversing the camera as well. So it won't be obviously colourful. It'll have a bit of a purple tinge to it, but you will be able to see what you're reversing up to very easily. So that's about it in terms of the vision for the camera. You don't require Wi-Fi for it because it works on a little local network. The signal's only put out by the camera, which is picked up for the phone. So you don't need any other external Wi-Fi or internet or data or anything like that for the camera to function. The other cool thing about it is that it is IPX6, which means it's fully waterproof. It's not submergible, but it is jet-powered water from all different directions. So you have no issues at all using it in any kind of weather. That leads me to point out this little charging port at the back here. Now, we have had a few questions from people who've not been able to get the charging port cover back into that little port there. It's not supposed to be easy, and I guess you can be comforted by that fact because you know that your little charging port is going to be very well protected from any rain. So you have to sort of line it up as best as you can, pull on the tab a little bit to straighten it up, and then it's just a matter of putting a little bit of effort into pushing it in, but you're sort of going to want to jiggle it and rotate it at the same time. And then as you push it in and rotate it at the same time, it will nestle its way back down like so. So that's about it for the Oricom wireless reversing camera. It's an excellent alternative for a vehicle that doesn't have an inbuilt reversing camera. It's super cheap. You can use it on any vehicle, regardless of whether or not it's just your daily driver and you want a little bit of extra safety, or you're towing a boat, caravan, or a camper. You can get this at snowies.com.au at our low prices every day.